Hello and welcome back to SnowRunner, and I am back up in the second map of Ontario in the burned forest, even though there is actually not that much burned forest. But what we're going to be doing today is getting the second new truck, which happens to be parked just over here, and if the 605R would like to turn on, we can drive around and take a look at it. So this thing here is the ZikZ 566A, and I want to get it. And how we get this truck is we have to deliver it to the village warehouse. That's not particularly hard, we just have to drive down here, which for something like the 605R that I have here is really not a challenge. So I'm just going to back up here, and we're not going to make it around this corner. No, it's fine. We can just drive over some very strong tyres. Wow, these tyres are remarkably strong. Why can't I put tyres like this on my trucks? I would never break them then. But I just want to pull the new ZikZ over here a bit. That way, I can drive around it and I can winch the front, because winching things in reverse has a tendency to go wrong. So I would much rather winch the front bit, and I will just reel it in a little bit so that it's not too far away from me. And I could turn the engine on and stuff, but you know, the 605R should really not have a challenge. So we're almost there, and we're gonna take this little last bit of journey to talk about this map, because I was exploring it last episode, but now that I've explored the entire thing and delivered various vehicles around it, I've come to the conclusion that this is quite a nice map. Like, this is the muddiest place in the entire map. This little region around here, and you know, there's a drill there, and there's a bit of swamp over here. But this is not any worse than some of the Michigan maps, which is nice, because personally I prefer the more like logistical challenge rather than the under level have fun going down this, it's not even a road sort of challenge, which they sometimes go with. So I like these maps. It's quite similar to the first one. There's a bit of burnt area, there's a bit of mud, there is no snow whatsoever. There's quite a few delivery challenges that I haven't done. I've only really delivered vehicles, I haven't delivered any actual cargo. But we'll see what that's like when I actually get to it, which will be like, I don't know, next episode. So, here we are. There we go. That's the new ZikZ. So we're going to stop and swap over to it, and the engine is slightly broken because I accidentally sort of knocked into the back of the big ZikZ when I went down a hill, but it's fine. Very important test, what does the horn sound like? Rather generic. So let's see what we got. We've got permanent all-wheel drive and engageable diff lock. That is the way around that I would rather not have it. I would rather have permanent diff lock and engageable all-wheel drive. I'm literally just driving it around through a swamp, and it doesn't seem too bad. It's managing to deal with this mud. I don't actually know how deep it is because I haven't driven anything else through here to compare it to. I just started driving it. Here's the actual road. Let's go down here. So we only have 4 gears, which is maybe something we can use a gearbox to change. I don't know what the upgrades are for it yet, but haven't actually really looked into this. Wanted to leave it all for the video, but it seems to be doing quite well on these tyres. What are these tyres? They look unique. I don't think they are tyres shared with anything else. We'll have to see how good they are. I'll probably go and look up the stats. This map is also perhaps not a good test of actual mud, because this is not very deep. The fuel consumption doesn't seem to be too bad. I mean, we're going up a hill here, so it is increased a bit, but it seems to be going from about 8 to 10. We'll have to see what it's like pulling a load. It doesn't seem too slow with only 4 gears actually. I would have thought it would suffer a bit more, but 4 gears don't seem to be hurting it too much. Yeah, what I'll do now is I'll cover it to the garage and we'll see what upgrades we can get. There is a bunch of Russian engine options, and this one from the upgrade that I got from one of the maps. We're going to put that in there and see what happens. So it's got an all balanced gearbox, but it's not a normal balanced gearbox, it's a different one. That's interesting. Why does this increase its fuel consumption? Normally this makes fuel consumption worse, not better. Apparently the gearbox is just bad. Okay. In which case, I'll put in one of these ones if it makes it better. Well, the opera also says that it sacrifices gear count. So I'll just do a quick test and see how many gears we have now. We still have 4 gears. I want to have not 4 gears. Do I have to go and stick a high range on it to get not 4 gears? Yeah, now you go to 6, whereas something's got to 8. It's weird. How fast does it go, the high range gearbox and the big engine? Yeah, it's pretty quick. I can't tell what the speedometer's in. I imagine it's in kilometers an hour, considering that we're going 100. Okay, so this is pretty quick. I might actually keep this as a light, fast vehicle because it does seem to be dealing with this mud using the tactic of just drive quickly over it and don't sink in. Yeah, this mud here, something's bogged down in a bit, but it's not actually having difficulty, and it's not even on the proper mud tyres. Suspension, I have the raised suspension. This is not much difference, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, so these are technically off-road tyres. I wonder if they are really at all different to these. Oh, we do get these ones though. We're going to stick these on it and see how well it does. It gets this spare wheel is a repair kit. Why is it a repair kit when it's only got a spare wheel? Like, it says it's a repair kit and it's not. We get one of those, and it says wedge cap. This is not a wedge. So we can replace the spare wheel with a crane. And if we have the crane, we can then have the little sideboard bed. Does it only get a small? Yeah, it does. Even though if you took the crane off, you could probably fit a normal size on, you can't have that. We get a 900 litre fuel tank. That's not that great. That's the same as the Scout fuel carrier. And we get a fire tank, which carries 1800. That's the same as all the other fire tanks. It just looks different. So if you put the maintainer frame add-on, you can keep the spare wheel. And the small sideboard, you can keep the spare wheel. Oh, and you can have a fire tank in a spare wheel. It's just a shame that the spare wheel is in fact lying to you, because if you look at it, you've got this box next to it, and it says repair kit, and there's no repair parts in the repair kit. What useless repair kit is this? I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. It'll probably just be a fire tank thing, because you don't get many attachments. Or we just have it as another small bed thing. What do we get here? Oh, we get a roof rack, which is just fuel. And again, why is this in this category and not the other category? I don't know. We get some fog lights. Obviously, gotta have the fog lights. Stock, light cage, reinforced block. We're gonna have the one with more lights because more lights is more good. And we can get a searchlight, so more lights. Oh, we actually get some exhaust options. Where is the default one? I need to see. Where does the default one actually exhaust to? Oh, it's out the back down there. Instead of that, we can have it go out the top here. Why would you need to have these giant tall things on a tiny little truck? You know what? That's just gonna stick smoke in the camera, and that's not fun to watch. So I'm just gonna take that off. There's no special DLC paint. There's a few car schemes. Well, I guess this is your fire one. Ooh, let me see. Do these work with... Yeah, they work with the fuel tank and the fire tank. I'll put the fire tank on. Then go over here. Does this also work? Yes, these do all work with it. But obviously, pink is the way to go. Again, we get no generic accessory. Why do we not get one of those? That makes no sense. It doesn't look like there's any particular reason that we wouldn't be able to hang something from the middle. We are just not allowed. Does this fire tank have anything else? No, it's literally just a water tank, unlike the one on the dairy, which also gets some other stuff. So with these tyres, does it do particularly better? Yeah, it got kind of stuck. Why don't we just stick it in high? Yeah, it's spinning the wheels a lot. I have to know, does it do that with the other wheels, or is it more effective on these? So, send it back into the muddy puddle, and it's doing better on the off-road tyres than with the mud tyres. I wonder why that is. Okay, now we've stalled out and got stuck. Stick on the diff lock, and we go again. Interesting. I mean, it's not exactly fast, but I guess this thing's speciality is not deep mud. But in medium and shallow mud, this thing looks like it could be quite fast. Which is good, because most of this map is medium and shallow mud. What about trailers? It's got a trailer hook on the back. Does it work? Yes. We can get to the water carrier trailer and add another 1800 to it, right? Well, now we've got 3800. This might be an adequate water carrier. It might also just make it too heavy and then make it get stuck in the mud. I still think that the best way to transfer water is just with a road train. That's probably the way it's going to be. What I might do with this is I might just turn it into a light off-road recovery vehicle and just stick the maintainer frame add-on, which gives us 500 repair parts, 2 spare wheels, plus the extra spare wheel. Because with the big engine, it's pretty zippy. So I'm trying to think of something I can do to test this out, and I can't really think of anything particularly. So I'm probably just going to drive it up to the other map and keep it up there as a recovery vehicle. Why is it drifting so much? It seems to be rather slidey, which is weird. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you go fast in this game. But it does seem to drift a lot. Like, why is it drifting there? Turn sharply, it then just decides to start sliding. I mean, it's not a massive problem. It's not like it's particularly difficult to drive. It's just I'm not used to vehicles trying to actually slide in this game. They sort of just wander around. I did actually do a couple of cargo delivery missions. One of them was to fix up the sawmill on Burn River, because I'm going to need that. And one of them was to fix up this gateway, because it's far more easy to get to than the one over the other side of the map. And yes, the Wrangler is still sitting here by this gateway, because I haven't needed to move it. He just flew through that mud. I was expected to be time-lapsing that, and then it just flew through, so I will have to not include that in the time-lapse, and it will look weird because I won't be saying anything. But it was surprisingly good at that. I was expecting it to have more difficulty. Anyway, we're just going to park this up here at the sawmill and leave it here for now. It does have very good ground clearance as well. Like, looking at it here, next to the Paystar, which is a very big truck, it has probably more ground clearance than it. This thing's not actually that bad. It's just not very practical because it only gets a little sideboard bed, and it will not do well pulling trailers because it works best as a light off-roader rather than a heavy off-roader. But that's going to be it for this video, so thanks for watching, don't get distracted, go subscribe now, and until next time, goodbye.